Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're taking a look at more Japanese deck lists from Scarlet and Violet base sets. I already did a video on new Gardevoir lists, so if that's what you're here for, just click on my channel and click on the video I did on new Gardevoir deck lists. This video will have very few Gardevoir deck lists in it, despite maybe most of the deck lists in the Bennett section are Gardevoir decks, so we're probably not going to be looking at much of this because I looked at a lot of those lists in the last video where I looked at Gardevoir lists. So if you want to look at Gardevoir lists, go look at that video. But today we're going to be looking at everything that isn't Gardevoir. So if we just scroll down here, go all the way to page 3 actually. Here is the Gardevoir lists article, but let's just go right below. It's probably the next most hyped card after Gardevoir, which is actually going to be Miraidon EX. Has the really good ability, 10 units. Search your deck for 2 basic lightning type Pokemon, put them right under your bench. And here is going to be the first list. It's going to be a Miraidon deck with Flaffy, which seems to be a pretty popular choice because getting down all your Mareeps that you want on turn 1 is really, really helpful. So we have 3 copies of Miraidon EX and then a 4-3-1 Ampharos EX line. Of course, the 3 Flaffy in there as well, which is going to be used to power up your Pokemon, alongside the new Electricity Generator, which is a super good new item card that says look at the top 5 cards of your deck and attach up to 2 lightning type energy you find there to your bench lightning type Pokemon any way you want. So what this basically does is allow you to power up your Miraidon EX to attack, and in combination with the Flaffy, you can. There's a whole bunch of attacks you have. But of course, 3 Miraidon EX, which for 2 lightning cards deals 220 damage, and you can't use that attack next turn. You can actually evolve your Flaffy into an Ampharos EX, which has an attack that does 140 damage, and if you want, you can do 100 more damage. But you do have to discard 2 energy from yourself. We have a Raichu V, which I think is actually really, really strong option for this kind of deck. It has the Quick Charge, which you can use on your first turn. It's attack for 1 cardless. It's attack for lightning energy attached to one of your Pokemon. So if you use to open the Raikou or the Raichu, that is an attack that you can use if you do it first. But the main attack that this card is in here for is going to be Second Attack, which for 2 lightning energy deals 60 damage for each lightning energy you discard from your Pokemon. So if you discard 6 lightning type energy, you're going to be doing 360 damage, which will one-shot everything in the game. So yeah, and if you just discard 5, you do 300 damage, which is 10 away from knocking out a Gardevoir EX. And if that Gardevoir EX does have damage on it, it will just knock out it right there. We have a Regieleki here, the Terra Spark that the Regigigas deck plays right now in Standard, the 120 damage, and you do 40 damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. And of course, this is all kind of wrapped in a neat bow by the Flaffy Acceleration and Electricity Generator Acceleration. We do have a Force Steel Stone in here because it actually lets you, Raichu or Drapion or Lumineon use the V-Power that lets you search deck for any cards. So we have no other V-Stars in here. It's pretty no-brainer include. Then our search includes 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Nest Ball, and 3 Level Ball. So it looks pretty good. We have 3 Research, 3 Serena, 1 Arbin, 2 Boss, 2 of the new Beach Core, which gives basic Pokemon's retreat cost 1 less for a little bit of switching, and then 13 Lightning Energy. And this just looks like a nice, solid, all-around Lightning box deck. Now, moving on, I believe this is the same list we just looked at. We have the same kind of idea. This one going heavier on the Raichu, which I do actually agree with because I just mentioned Raichu is a very, very good attacker, and you have Electricity Generator alongside Dynamotor on Flaffy to accelerate. This one playing the other Regieleki instead of the Terra Spark one. This one has the I think it's like the Targeting Bolt. That does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. You discard all energy from it, or discard 2 energy from it, something like that. Did the last one play Rain Greninja? Okay, yeah, so Rain Greninja, which is just really, really good because it gets the lightning energy in the discard pile. The search is very similar with 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Level Ball, and only 2 Nest Ball. I don't know if there's such a big difference there. I mean, you have the Miraidon just fully establish your board, so literally only 1 Nest Ball or 1 Ultra Ball will usually set up your entire board. It's really, really good. That's another reason you want to play the 3 Miraidon EX instead of just the 2, is because if you prize 1, you still usually need 2 to actually set up your entire board. This one playing 4 Research, which if you're going to play Research in a deck, in my opinion, if you're going to play Research in a deck, Cross Rotation, just play 4. It's just such a good card. There's really no hand you don't want it in. So yeah, this one playing 2 Serena, 4 Research, so going the 4th Research over the 3rd Serena. And Avery, which has actually been proving to be a really, really good supporter of Post Rotation. If you looked at my Gardevoir video, a lot of those Gardevoir decks were actually playing like 2+ Averys. And this one is still going to be playing the 1, but it's just really, really solid against, Flaffy decks. Decks just have Miraidon, just want to fill up their board. Even like Gardevoir decks that want to get a bunch of Curlings and play Avery is really, really good against that. And similarly, Miriam, which is a new supporter that shuffles 5 Pokemon to discard power into your deck, and then you draw 3 cards, is going to help fight against that Avery. Because if you are going to be Avery and forced to discard a couple Pokemon, you can just Miriam them right back into the deck and hopefully draw right into them. And if you don't draw right into them, you can just Miraidon them out again. So yeah, we have that defense over the Avery there, and then 2 Boss, 2 Beach Core, and then 14 Lightning Energy this time. Okay, this is the same list we just looked at. Is it? Yeah, okay. And once again, this one's very similar to the first one we looked at. Just doesn't have a Terra Spark, has the Emolga, which I think has Fairy Retreat, and then an attack for 1 lightning does 30 damage, and you flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. So nice little pivot there, which is of course going to be needed if you want to get some Dynamortars off. This one only playing 3 Mareep. It's playing a 3-4-1 line of Ampharos, and I think if you're playing 4 Flaffy, you should definitely just find the space for the 4th Mareep, especially since you only play 3 Electricity Generator. This one looks a little bit sus to me. It has like Roxanne, Judge. It has a Path. Path actually seems pretty decent in here. But other than that, I would really want the bump of the Mareep count in here. But we have the 1 Ampharos. This one playing 4 Miraidon, so I just really wanted to set up. And yeah, we do have 1 Water Energy, so you can actually Flappy to your to Lumineon and shuffle it back, which actually seems pretty decent to me. Like, just having a copy of Water Energy for your Lumineon against in Flappy decks actually seems pretty good. So I do actually like that inclusion a lot. It's really nice. Then we have Miraidon with Regieleki VMAX, which I think is actually a really, really good deck. Is going to be the Miraidon I've been calling it. And this one having the 3-3-2 line of Ampharos EX, 3 of the Diamond, 3 of the Mareep, and 2 of the Ampharos EX. Now, the Regieleki does not actually boost the Ampharos EX. Ampharos is just a big kind of beat stick card that just will usually be 2-shotting things, but it has still really, really good attack. With the 240, still is going to be 1-shotting a lot of stuff. And we have 4 Electricity Generator, of course. We have the 4 Steel Stone. This one playing Jacques, which searches your deck for 2 evolutions, which when you have the Miraidon as long with the Flaffy Ampharos line in here, seems pretty good actually. And then we have only 1 research, which the supporters on this look actually really, really sus. No Ultra Ball either. This, I don't know. I'm a fan of this really. I guess no Ultra Ball kind of makes sense now because it makes sense why you have 2 Ampharos EX instead of the 1 because we do have no Ultra Ball. But yeah, I like the idea here with the Regieleki, but I feel like you definitely need to add some more research on Ultra Ball to this because I feel like this is going to brick a lot. But maybe that's just me. Maybe if I were to play it, I wouldn't brick that much. So that's just a lack of experience, maybe. This is the list we just looked at. Here's another very similar list. We're just going to go on by this. It does have high research, like I was talking about. So yep, same thing. Oh wait, no, this actually only has 2 electricity generator. So cutting down the electricity generator, which I mean that makes sense. Like cutting down on the electricity generator, adding the more consistency. This one had the 4 electricity generator, and this one only has the 2, but it does have increased consistency, which check choose more more research. Yeah, also does have the 4 Ultra Ball as well. Maybe that's just the same list. I'm not sure what this is. Let's see here. Here's another very similar. This is actually looking like a pretty popular deck here. It's going to be having the Miraidon with Flaffy and a 1 Ampharos, and then the electricity generator. So this one, just like the stuff we just looked at, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 15 lightning, so they're going upon the lightning, but it's playing the max trekking shoes, which is good. I think, especially if you have this much lightning energy. Scorpion VSTAR, which actually seems really, really good in combination with Raichu. If you only discard the 5 energy and deal the 300, with just if you just use the Hazard Star, the poison will take them over to 330, so you will 1-shot other big EX Pokemon like the Ampharos, the Magnezone, etc. Will let you get past Gardevoir, but like I mentioned, will most likely have some damage counters on it anyway. So having 3 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, I definitely like this a lot. Just like this is a very straightforward, very consistent build with full 4 Miraidon, full 4 research, 3 bosses, the only supporters, just bunch of lightning energy trekking shoes. Seems pretty good. I actually do like this list a lot. I'm actually might build this after and try this list out because I do like this one a lot. And I'm not exactly sure what this is. This just looks like more of the same kind of. This one playing Pachirisu, which does do 110 damage if you have a full board of lightning Pokemon. This looks like kind of the same that we've been looking at. This is playing the 2 Raichu, which I like a lot. And yeah, this looks like this one playing Raikou V, which is pretty decent, and 2 Raichu. But the rest of this looks like going to be the same kind of idea with the Miraidon with the Flappy Ampharos, and then a couple tech attackers. Some of them play Regieleki, some of them play like Terra Spark, Raichu. All right, now I believe there's only one Gyarados list, but we're just going to take a peek at it because Gyarados is a funny card that I think people will try just to have some fun. Actually, I think I was wrong. There's actually like maybe 2 now. So this is a Gyarados list that has Origin Form Palkia VSTAR to power it up, as well as Alolan Vulpix VSTAR. So I guess the idea here is that like, you have Radiant Blastoise to set up the damage. That makes a lot of sense. So I think the idea here is that you're like using Radiant Blastoise over a couple turns to set up damage, and then you're star portaling the energy that you discarded with Radiant Blastoise onto the Gyarados, attaching to DT, and just going ham on anything. Which seems pretty cool. I'm not sure why the Vulpix is in here. I feel like those spots might just be better as consistency, like more Irida, more research, because you want to be able to pull off the Star Portal and stuff. But yeah, 4 Tricky Shoes, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. Really big, consistent deck. This looks nice, except for the Vulpix. I'm not sure what this is here for. What does this beat? Oh, it beats, probably beats Miraidon. I think that's actually why this is in here, because I think this does beat Miraidon, because most Miraidon decks aren't going to be playing Path. That's actually a pretty cool idea. You still lose to Ampharos, though, because Ampharos they just evolve the Flavity Ampharos and just smack you for 240 and knock out. So that's a little unfortunate. This still might not be enough versus the Miraidon decks. Yeah, this list we just looked at. And then we have this one, which is more of like a meme deck. It has 20 energy, the 18 water, 2 double turbo. This one has like kind of like the Kyogre Cryogonal deck. But instead of playing Kyogre, you have Gyarados. We saw the Cryogonal in here, which looks at the top 6 cards of your deck, and I think it attached any number of basic energy you find there to your Pokemon. Then we just have a 4/4 Gyarados. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get damage on to your opponent's Pokemon. Maybe with Raining Greninja, but there's no Heavy Ball. So I'm not sure how you get damage on them. Maybe you just 2-shot everything, but that just seems not worth it. I don't know. Maybe a Hawlucha would be good in here. You can actually set up that damage. Here's the same kind of deck. Oh, it has 2 Gape Jaw. That's probably what's going to be setting up the damage. Is going to be the Gape Jaw and the Radiant Greninja as well. Same deck. And yeah, so that's it for the Gyarados. Like I said, not very many Gyarados lists. What's next here? We already looked at all this. This is just the reveal of a card. All right, let's look at a Lugia lists. Which I'm sure people are just sick of seeing Lugia at this point, but there's an article on this site. He might not be going away. And yeah, this is the direction that most Lugias have been going now. Is going to be the single strike Lugia, using single strike Pokemon like Umbreon VMAX, Gengar VMAX, single strike Urshifu VMAX, and single strike Energy. Because basically the idea is that Archeops still has a pretty broken ability, and losing a lot of special energy. What's the next best special energy? Single strike Energy, doing more damage. It's basically just powerful colors energy, but for different Pokemon. And you can also recycle the single strike energy with the Urn of Vitality. Not only that, but you also get access to a nice Strontium with a Tower of Darkness, which is pretty nice too. We just see that this deck is just kind of going full on consistency, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Capturing Aroma. And this just seems like kind of the same idea of the Lugia decks now. Early game, get out your double Archeops, and then just like accelerate a bunch of energy, one-shot stuff with Urshifu or Gengar. Gengar does hit weakness on both Mew and Gardevoir, which is really nice because Gardevoir is super good, Mew is super good. So hitting weakness on those now is really nice. The thing that's kind of cool about Gardevoir, that is not as true about Mew, is that Gardevoir looks like it's going to have a much tougher time versus any dark stuff trying to hit it for weakness than Mew does, just because it has a little bit more inconsistent damage output and a little bit more high HP Pokemon that they're really looking to just kind of tank hits. Here with the same kind of deck. So I'm playing 2 copies of Luxray, which if you start it, you get to do like it has like the same ability as the old Talonflame, which if you have it in your opening hand, you can actually start it as like a basic Pokemon. And its attack does 50 damage for one colorless, and you search your deck for 2 trainers and has free retreat. So pretty just insanely statted card. If you do open it in your hand, and I believe this is here just because you start it and you go second, you can just grab an Ultra Ball and like, or you can just grab like Burnett and Ultra Ball and just have the combo on the next turn. Marnie does go away. Looks like Judge is seeing play, but like in pretty low quantities, which I was actually surprised by. I think Judge is just a very, very good card. In general, I feel like some decks should be trying out the quad Judge strategy, like a lot of decks tried out quad Marnie. But at least right now, most of them are going to be playing only like 1 or 2 Judge, which makes that Luxray just a lot better. And like the rest of it is just like same single strike with the 2/1 Gengar, the 2/2 single strike Urshifu. This one playing a Snover. This is actually single strike Snover, not the Abominable Snow, the Snover right here. Because I believe with a couple of single strike energy, it will one shot a Darkrai VSTAR, which is pretty funny. Also playing this Dialga, which has Chrono Wind for 3 colors, does 80, and if your opponent's active Pokemon's a V, it can attack, which is pretty cool. Then we have this single strike build, which is kind of trading in the big Ooga Booga one shots of the Urshifu and the Gengar for the nice gusting that the Umbreon gives. There's a 4/4 Umbreon, so this just kind of feels like I'm just going to be fast, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to set up and just gust up your Pokemon whenever I want because I have a 4/4 Umbreon VMAX. This thing can also, if you have 3 single strike energies on the Umbreon, it'll hit 220, which means it will one shot Evolving Bees, it will one shot Miraidon EX 2. That's what this just kind of looks like. It just looks like just gonna kind of just try to control the game from like turn 2. Then we have same kind of idea. This one only playing a 3/3 Umbreon and still has the 1 copy of the single strike Urshifu V, no V Max, just for the weakness. Also does have the single strike Scroll of Raging Dragon, which I believe the attack cost is fighting metal double colorless, does 300 damage and you discard all energy. But if you just get like a couple impact energy, single strike, and a double turbo, you'd hit 280, and you can actually just recycle the single strike energies too, which makes just pretty good. We have this one, which actually I did see this on Twitter before I recorded this video a couple days ago, with Heavy Deoxys, which I'm not sure on. I guess the idea of the Deoxys is that it can use all of the rainbow energies, which makes it a lot easier to attack with the single strike Sword of the Dragon, which I actually think is a really sick idea because it does all 3 strikes. You can use impact energy, spiral energy, and fusion energy on it to pay for this. So, but then I looked at this and I'm like, well, then where's the spiral energy? I feel like there's also should be higher impact energy. But I actually do think this is a really sick idea. Just going heavy Scroll of the Fanged Dragon, and then a bunch of the strike rainbow energies. Just kind of say that it's fine that we lost Aurora because I can just use this Deoxys, which basically just makes me able to play 12 Auroras in my deck. And Aurora currently is one of the best cards, definitely the best special energy that Lugia has access to is going to be Aurora energy. But yeah, I'm not sure why there's only 5 of the strike rainbow energies though. I feel like there should definitely be more of them. So I'll have to see about that. But other than that, I might have to try out this kind of idea myself. Of just going heavy Sword of the Fang Dragon, a bunch of rainbow energies. That seems like a really cool idea. The Deoxys is also only a 1 pricer too. There's this picture of the list. This one looks like the same kind of thing. It's playing 4 power tablets and no Swirl the Fang Dragon. So this one's relying more on the attack of the Deoxys that does 140. That has a fusion energy on it. I'm pretty sure is that attack. Let's see. This one playing Cragalanche, Tyranitar V, which for 2 dark and 2 colorless does 240, and I think you discard the top 3 cards of your deck, something like that. But with single strike energies, of course, you can increase that all the way up to 280, and that's kind of the idea there. And this the Golurk V, which I think has the Evolution Beam, which for 2 psychic, 2 colorless, does 180, and you devolve your opponent's Pokemon. So you just put 2 single strike and 2 impact energies on there, and you can just devolve the Pokemon V-Star all the way to this Pokemon V, and now has 220 damage on it because you had the 2 single strikes, and it's knocked out, which seems really, really strong. It also can devolve Stage 2 Pokemon. 180 will definitely be KOing Curlias and Flappies that you devolve, along with the 2 copies of single strike Sojourner. which is probably here by weakness on this Entei, which I'm not sure what it does. It does something about the damage counters of single strike Pokemon. This Evital, which is really, really vanilla, but it is a dark attacker. A dark single prize attacker does for 3 dark energies, 110, I think, or 120. Rain Jirachi, and you can just throw up in the active to try and set up your board. And you actually have 4 double turbos, so you can, if you want to get lucky with that, you can. This one looks like the same kind of idea as the last one with the Tyranitar. More Tyranitar. This one have Umbreon on Tyranitar and Golurk. And yeah, so this single strike looks like to definitely just be the direction that Lugia is going to have to be going post rotation. Now going on to a deck that I'm really excited about, and that is going to be Darkrai. Why am I at the bottom of the Lugia page again? So yeah, a deck that I'm really excited about, and that is Darkrai VSTAR. I just think this deck games a lot. It gains the fact that a lot of decks are having their single prize Pokemon active, which have such low HP that you're not super pressured to get a bunch of energies on turn 2 to try and one-shot a 220 HP Pokemon, which is really cool. And also, Darkness is just an insanely good type to be when Gardevoir is one of the best decks in the game. Like I said, Gardevoir I think is going to have a much harder time into Darkness type decks than Mew was, or still does. Mew's definitely still a deck in post-rotation format. But this is definitely the kind of thing, the idea that I've been testing out on my Darkrai list, which is just going all like, gotta go fast. We have the 4 Darkrai, 4 Research, 2 Zorinas, 2 Clars, 3 Pokestops, 16 Darkest Energies, and then the consistency is just like immaculate. 4 Nest, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Choose, 4 Dark Patch, of course, 4 Cross Switchers to Gust. We have no boss in here, so we have the Cross Switchers instead. Yeah, this just looks like this is just like gotta go fast the deck. And I definitely think that's what's gonna make Darkrai the best, is gonna be just saying I'm just gonna go and just pile energy on my board, and then just force you to deal with it basically. And I'm not gonna spend too long looking at these because they're all basically the same idea. This one has 2 energy retrievals, which is interesting. It has Zinnia's Resolve, which I think is pretty good in the deck too. Um, so I'm playing Room, which actually don't think is that good. I think you're perfectly fine consistency wise without the Room, and having to set up a stage 1 alongside your Darkrai VSTAR, which is already technically a stage 1, can be a little bit of a pain. So yeah, I'm not as high on the Room, but it's still a decent option if you want to try it out. More Room. This one playing Defiant Band as well. Room. Room. Well, it looks like Room is pretty popular. This one playing this Cyclizar, which I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure this is just an extremely mid card. Does it have Defiant Band? Yeah, no Defiant Band. This is really mid Cyclizar for some reason. And yeah, I think that's just going to be, that's going to stop because a lot of these are just the same kind of ideas. This is definitely just a meme mill deck. I haven't actually looked at these, but I think people are trying out the Annihilate with, the Lost Zone. So this is going to be Lost Annihilate. This Annihilate does 70 damage for each prize card opponent's taken, which when your entire deck is single prize Pokemon is just kind of crazy. Just being able to, like, if your opponent's taken like 4 prize cards only, you're just blowing something up. But that being said, I don't know if it's just going to be better than Radiant Charizard. Probably not. Radiant Charizard's a basic. It takes, it takes 1 energy, but Annihilate does take it. But Annihilate is a stage 2, which is painful in this kind of Lost Zone deck that is really catered towards just setting up basic Pokemon, maybe stage 1 Pokemon with the odd like Giratina. And yeah, so Annihilate. There's going to be a Lost Annihilate, but I don't really see the point. I think Radiant Charizard might just be a little bit better. We have Arcanine EX, which has been seeing results. This is going to be Arcanine with Room, which makes sense because you have Magma Basin. Heatran as well, just blow something up. Entei V, Delphox V, and then you're going to have the Armor Rouge, which does let you move fire energies from your bench Pokemon to your active. So this is just going to be a very fire toolbox that's all kind of stitched together by this Armor, which is pretty cool. EXP share as well. Let's see. It's going to be having a Gardevoir engine, a 1-1 Rapidash. When I first tried out Arcanine, this is what I tried it out with, but it was a little bit bricky, I think. So maybe 1-1 is just going to be what you're going to need. And yeah, so that's gonna be the Arcanine lists. I definitely think that Firebox one is pretty cool. And we still have more. That's not all. We have gonna have a Banette, which I'm not gonna look at because it's very similar to all the Gardevoir decks that we already looked at. Most of the Gardevoir decks that feature Banette are in that Banette article. Then we have a Magnezone deck. This is gonna be just punishing the Darkrais. This is gonna be punishing the Gardevoirs that they're loading energy on the board with like Shadow Rider. Um, this one playing a 2/2 Flaffy, which I don't think you really need. I think you can just cut these 2/2 Flaffies for the electricity generators, which I think is going to be fine. Especially considering you have 12 energies, that's pretty high for such an efficient attacker. You're going to be hitting the electricity generators enough. You're not going to be hitting every time, but hitting them enough of the time to pay the odd energy or two there when you need to. Um, you also have the two Raihans. So now having four Colress, which is pretty interesting. No research, just Colress instead. But Colress is a pretty good supporter. But I think the way to go with Magnezone is going to be like a Gardevoir engine with heavy Charles is what I've been tinkering with. And it's been pretty decent. But yeah, I don't think you really need this. I think just electricity generators is going to be just fine instead of the Flaffy. It's just Flaffy is just another Pokemon to set up. No Miraidon, which I'm actually extremely surprised by. Like I said, when I was trying out a Curlia Gardevoir build of this, I didn't even have the Flappy, and I still played Miraidon just because Miraidon is just that good. So I definitely think if you're going to be taking this list, not changing anything, you should at least add a Miraidon EX because Miraidon is just such a strong card. That's it. Magnezone actually underperforming a little bit. I actually think it's not a bad card at all, considering Darkrai's having some success. We have Oinkologne, which kind of came as a little bit of a come from behind deck. I don't think a lot of people are expecting, but has actually been seeing results with like this kind of tanky build with Sharon's Care, Cheryl, full face guard, path, like heavy path, and then B guards and Luckies and DT. So this is very similar to like I don't know Arceus deck, where basically instead of you're trading off the Starbirth ability for like being able to just kind of slam path whenever you want. Um, and having just a singular energy attack that can hit for decent damage. So I think the idea with the Oinkologne, you can like poke stuff for decent damage with the first attack, the route or the tramp on, I think is what it's called. It does 10 damage and 30 more for each opponent's bench Pokemon. So you can just kind of poke with that and then just go 210. The second attack, yeah, for 3 colors, does 210. You flip a coin if heads. You can't attack next turn, but that attack next turn clause doesn't matter that much when you can just share and carry it back up or escape rope out, or maybe you just hit tails and you don't have to attack. Or you are going to be able to attack the next turn as well. This one playing like heavy Beaver. 4 Bidoof and 4 on 3 Barrel, which is actually a little bit surprising. There's going to be the 4 Ultra Ball to complement that. And yeah, Oinkologne having successes when playing the 3/2 Barrel, as well as playing a Squovet and excuse me, and Miltank. The same kind of idea though. You're going to be using Sharon's Care to pick up your guys, slamming paths, and just attaching a bunch of tanky stuff like Full Face Guard and V Guard Energy. Think of it, same kind of idea. This one playing Radiant Gardevoir, and only 8 energy, the 4 DT and 4 V Guard. But like I said, you're just gonna be able to pick them back up. Karina's Focus is weird. I'm not sure why this is in here. I feel like just like a bunch of supporters are just better than this, like maybe Research or Serena. Also, there's a what's her face, Agatha. This is definitely just not a good card. I don't really understand this. Maybe there's some math I'm missing, but I just don't think that this card is that good. There's going to be a Lost Box Oinkologne, which is actually pretty sick. Because you have like this Oinkologne that has like a decent amount of HP. It can do a decent amount of damage. You kind of poke things with it while you're shutting up for your Sableye. But I feel like Crammer just kind of does the same thing. I guess the reason to play this is you can actually rock Sand People a little bit earlier, but other than that, I don't really understand this at all. And yeah, that's going to be for the Oinkologne. And the last one looks like, well, maybe there's one more, but this would be Sweet Zoroark, which I was doing pretty decently, actually. Here's one with Gardevoir that uses, of course, the Gardevoir's ability that's attach psychic energy and put damage on Pokemon. And that damage is pretty nice because Zoroark is going to be doing more damage for all of the damage counters on your board. So if all your Pokemon are damaged, you're hitting 300 with the Zoroark, 280 with the DT. And that's kind of the idea, is that you just have an engine and kind of what Zoroark decks used to play is going to be like Heavy Crobat and Lumineon. But we're kind of replacing that. Of course, Crobat does rotate, so we're replacing that with the Curly engine. But it does allow you to play Gardevoir as well, which can get the extra damage in play. Still having Gengar as well. We have same Zoroark with Gardevoir. And this one is going to be Zoroark without Gardevoir. It has the barrel instead of the Curlio. Writing Alakazam. This looks a more akin to kind of what we've seen previous with Zoroark, just kind of a really like aggressive, all-out kind of build with like the drop Pokemon. Oops. This one, same kind of thing. Let's see. Yep, same thing with the barrel. 4/4 Zoro. 3 V-Guards as well. It's interesting. And this looks like, yeah, that's gonna be it for the Zoroark. Now let's take a look at the last article. I'm not sure what's on this one. I haven't actually looked at this one yet. It's gonna be okay. Sablezard. Sablezard has been doing pretty decent in the format. Just because there's gonna be a lot more single prize Pokemon, and Sableye is just really good against single prize Pokemon. So that's kind of the idea. Playing a 2/2 Banette, just saying that like we don't have Scuba anymore, so we might need this Banette to help us a little bit. Yep, this one with no Banettes, still fine. Just play a Magma Basin. And yeah, most of these just look pretty similar, which is kind of like how Sablezard is. There's not really much room for too much creativity because the deck just kind of has its like framework that makes it good. So playing Heavy Path. The net is back with 4 Beach Courts. I think Beach Court's just like a no-brainer. Like you should definitely be playing 3+ Beach Court in Lost Index now with the 2+ Vacuum. Yeah, I think these are all basically the same. Let's see. It's playing Lugia, which can help you stabilize math. Really good in the mirror. Like this card is just like, whoo, really good in the mirror. Banette again, and yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna cut it here. This video has been a while. My voice is starting to hurt. Yeah, that's gonna be it for you guys. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see